What is going on, everybody? We are back on it. Hunter x Hunter episode 142. Again, we're chugging along. We got what? 42, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 7 episodes left. Coming down to the end here. A lot that needs to be kind of wrapped up, so I'm interested to see how in depth we really go with kind of the butlers and their fighting, Hisoka, and like if Illumi and Killua actually do get into anything. But then we've also got to, and this all has to happen in 6 to 7 episodes. The Butler and the Hisoka fight it's not like going to be a Naruto or Dragon Ball thing. If there even is a fight, I'm sure it'll be wrapped up in 30 minutes. I mean, 30 seconds screen time. And then Illumi and Killua are going to have to confront each other, of course. How does that get resolved? Does Killua talk Illumi into kind of like, accepting Aluka as a family member, or do they have a heart-to-heart and end up kind of like going to Gon and healing him together? We've got to figure out who becomes the next chairman and how that all gets resolved, and if Pariston isn't the one that wins, what does he do when he loses? Does he sabotage? Do we have to kill him? Is he going to be fine not winning? And then you've got to heal Gon, and I feel like we've got a lot of like inner dialogue and monologue that we need from Gon. I mean, his character completely changed. I don't know the exact episode, but you could say halfway through that, like, we haven't gotten much of like what Gon thinks now. What does he think of himself now that kind of now that the emotions are off the table, and I guess you could say he's gotten his revenge, and he knows that like Kite isn't going to come back, and there's no more king or royal guards, and what he's done to his body and his nen. What does he think of himself? What does he think of the future? What does he want to do anymore? Does he still have dreams of finding his father or becoming a great hunter, or does he want Killua by his side? Does Killua die having to sacrifice himself? And if Killua does die, what does Gon think of that he sacrificed himself to bring him back to life? Just a lot that needs to get wrapped up here in the next handful of episodes, so I'm curious to see how it is handled. A lot of comments just kind of reiterating a reason why Silva is probably so scared is say Killua was unable to fulfill the request. How big the amount of people that are going to die, and it probably would mean the whole Zoldyck family will die. Just from the butterfly effect it'll have if Killua is unable to fulfill the request. It would almost be better to have somebody random try to fulfill the request and then get them to make the wish, so that if they do fail, it could be easily taken. Or I forgot how the request and everything get reset, but maybe have somebody fail that has nothing to do with anybody that would even be remotely close to death if they failed. Because we know that's how her kind of request get reset, is every time that requests are failed, the next reset and the request will be kind of like minimum, like give me a piggyback, give me a high five. Maybe the best case scenario is maybe to have one of because the butlers are pretty closely connected to the family, so I don't know how big the last wish was that she did. So how big the ripple effect would be if somebody was to fail. Would it just be the closest person they loved? Would it be a couple people? Would it be hundreds, thousands? And then how did Killua get Iluka or something to show her, like, I'm ready to grant a wish face without meeting the proper conditions? Because as we know, Killua said, when she's referring to you by name is when her, like, demon possessive type is taking over. Killua didn't fulfill any request through that, through that avenue. So how did he get her to make that face if he didn't do it in the way that us as the viewer and them as the family members think the wishes have to, or the requests have to be fulfilled? Had a couple of you message me on Twitter that the whole car flipping off the side of the mountain and exploding 18-wheelers was just an anime adaptation thing, and that's why it looks so ridiculous. And I mean, I got some pretty good explanations on how they could survive, wrapping the car and in Nen, and the butlers are highly trained, but I mean, there were still steel beams coming through that car, and they had to protect the girl, and they were trying to protect the family, and the car is rolling down a mountainside at the same time, and like, I understand they're highly trained, but it just, it looked silly, so it's good to know that like a lot of you kind of felt the same way, how they just hopped up out of there with no scratches. Because even at the end of the day, like you guys have been telling me, even back to when the king like took a nuke, like the human body is still a human body, you know. Even though we've seen what it can do when it has Nen that's enhanced and enhancers was able to like take bullets to the face and stop tanks and all that stuff. It was just hard for me to like wrap my head around multiple bodies tumbling down like a free fall almost, and coming out of there unscathed. But we have seen, well, Killua is being tracked by Subone, so they're still kind of have a guardian on them. Goto looks like he's about to square off with Hisoka, which I would love to see, but knowing the anime, I don't know if we'll actually get like good hand to hands with him. I had a couple of you tell me that Goto looks like an enhancer, like he's enhancing the coins. That's where they're coming out of there so fast. He's not manipulating them because maybe they would have like curve or they would bounce or kind of do something wild, and he's not emitting them because that means he would be like making the coins almost like the Nen bullets from the Phantom Troop. But we'll see how it goes. We're really coming down to it here. We're really got less than double-digit episodes, so we'll see how it goes. And go from there. So we're 2 minutes and 10 seconds in on episode 142, titled "Need Less in Debt." 210, pressing play right now. Are we picking up where we left off? Or my man's still getting his sprint on? And you guys let me know, as great as Killua is with his god speed, he's still not even in the ballpark of what Illumi is, so it wouldn't even be a fair fight. So I'd love to see Canary and these other butlers like really fluff this man Hisoka up. He caught those bullet coins. And good to see Goto use Gyo. Everybody fucks around in this show, and nobody activates their eyes until after they've been caught in a trap. Go ahead and tell me, yeah, tell me, you know, the rubber and gum, I know, tell me. Thank you. But good to see Goto activating his eyes and not getting taken off guard like everybody does. I feel like that's the first thing. I hope Goto doesn't die. I don't think we're going to get a big fight here, but I'd love to. Just a big rubber and gum wall. Slowing down already. Oh, they're going to rip through. Oh shit, he's going to break your arms. Oh my god, they're that powerful. He couldn't even hold it. Yeah, he's going to dot your ass up in a minute. What does he do? How do you get out of this? I'm sure Hisoka will block both. He took it off the ground so he could jump. Smart. You knew they're not going to have Hisoka go out like that. Alright, Goto, don't get too, like, you know, rattled here, bro. Y'all let me know. Butlers are supposed to be, like, superhuman monsters, so... And it pulled him up. Ah, okay, he didn't react. He had something ready to go. That's what he's moving on now. Gonna die. We've never seen Hisoka like not come out on top, so I had to bet Goto's going to be defeated. Dead. Yeah, that's what I figured. I don't think we've ever seen Hisoka get like bested, you know? That's unfortunate because Goto was. It's hard to have Goto as like your favorite character or like, but he was definitely one of the better characters in the whole show, I think. Damn. Damn. That's pretty much how I expected that to go. Um, yeah, I would have liked to have seen, more of what Goto could do. Because we know, like, the butlers are supposed to be up there, but it's Hisoka. I don't think we've ever seen him get flustered once. He always, like, pretty much has the upper hand, even when it looks like he doesn't have the upper hand. That's why I would really have loved to seen Hisoka, involved in the Chimera Ant arc, because I'd love to see Hisoka, like, flustered or like, wow, am I like losing or am I like really getting defeated? But like, we never see him. Calling in like a speed boost. Okay, who's gonna stop these two? Illumi or motorcycle? Where are y'all pulling out a motorcycle from? We're conjuring one or what are we doing? Where did that just come from? What the? Is that her? It's actually her. What the And they're using their own aura to power it as gas? Holy shit. What benefit would that give somebody other than extreme travel? And she can't. It had to be used for others, though, correct? Because if they're using aura as fuel, the grandmother can't use her own aura to power it, could she? Does she need a rider? Hmm. Yeah, back to the Hisoka point. You always like to see OP characters get tested at one point, like um, or they just remain OP. Even Miriam at one point, we saw him like taking it back. Okay, what do you do now? Yeah, what do you do? Bing bong. Come on, we don't have time for this. Mary, what do you got? So weird. So what is it that she does with? Because she didn't conjure that bike. That she is the bike. So like, I don't see how it doesn't fall under a specialist ability because I mean, you could. She's not transmuting her net. Like her whole body turned into like she is the bike. She's not enhancing herself. She's not enhancing a bike. She's not manipulating a bike. She's not emitting a bike. Like she turned into a bike. So I'm guessing it's a specialist ability. He got there. Nice. What's the grandma do now that her bike is done? They're gone. They got on a ship without him. God, y'all suck. Goto's not coming back. Canary's got a dope character design too. I wish we would have gotten more of her. Dang, now that we're coming to the end, we're kind of fleshing in more characters that we had from way back when. I wish we would have gotten more from certain characters. Is she flying that herself? Who is she calling? Goto. Yeah. He's not coming back, girl. Coming in hot. Which one is it? True, just go to where they're going. And that thinking music again. What are they gonna call in a time like this? I have no more allies. Use my needles. Oh, he's gonna make them. Make allies. We're gonna figure out his abilities and the depths of it and what it can and can't do. Go ahead and give me the narrator explanation real quick. Gonna throw one on each. If I stick them in someone and give orders, they'll work hard for me until the death. Though they usually die from working too hard. You're not supposed to tell anybody. Needlemen. We're gonna get an explanation. He uses special needles to carry Nen, create soldiers that fight to the death for him. So how does he issue the command? Oh God. Where does the command part come in? He speaks it to them. Aura. So the moment they're pierced, they turn into vegetables. I guess since it's connected through his Nen, they can just follow whatever he may be thinking. Wow. Can you? What's the fourth hunter commandment? To not harm civilians? A hunter may never target another hunter. However, this does not apply to hunters who commit heinous criminal acts. Oh, okay, so hunters can't go after other hunters unless... Yeah. Gonna save one brother by getting rid of another brother. I wonder if he's more than just the needles, you know? Because in Hunter x Hunter, I really like to see, which we don't get a lot of, see what the characters have to offer when their flashy go-to move doesn't work. Unless they have multiple applications for it, like Moral and Hisoka. That we've seen vast things of the different things they can do, their abilities. Some people are just one-trick ponies, and we never get to see what happens if their one trick doesn't work. Can you just pull the needle out and everybody will be okay, or... I feel like I'm watching Attack on Titan. Okay. Dispose of the fakes. The anti-chairman. They're loyal to Netero. A new team that he used to belong to. A new group of new characters? Guys, we don't have enough episodes for this. Who are those silhouettes of all those other characters? He wants to be the chairman. Oh, so they're putting his name out there. Was he part of the initial 25 in the runoff, or the initial 16? I can't remember if his name was included. I feel like maybe it was. I think I remember him in his suit. Like, can you just pull the pin out and they'll end up being okay, or why are they running like mindless, like abnormal titans? Dang, the episode's really over. That's wild. Okay. Just like that, man. 6 episodes left. That's it. I want to go back to Illumi's Nen explanation and the way yeah, see, even seeing somebody like Hisoka give it praise. And a lot of you told me these two are pretty much even with each other. But again, it's hard to know what Illumi can and can't do because we haven't seen him really do. Like, we know what he can do, but we haven't seen, again, like I was saying, what happens when your go-to move doesn't work? If he has a bunch of people pinned with needles coming at you, and you get through all those people, and he doesn't have anybody else he's manipulating at the moment, what is he, without the needles? What can he do? We know he has assassination training, but how high does that take you? I mean, we've seen what a little kid, Killua, could do with assassination training. So I'm sure Illumi still has a lot to offer to the table, but does he have anything else manipulation wise to offer? Which I guess you could say that with a lot of manipulators. I feel like, I don't want to say it's the weakest of, I guess, the what do we got? 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 categories? Specialist being one of the 6. I feel like it might be one of the weaker of the 6, even though I know they kind of all have their strengths versus who they go against, but I feel like when you get past the thing that they're manipulating, which could be difficult, it could be very difficult to get past the thing they're manipulating. What are they after that? Not every manipulator's a master assassin like Illumi is. Even Shaunok, I think can he only manipulate one thing at a time? I think I had somebody tell me that. Someone said comparing the two, Shaunok can only manipulate one thing, but I feel like we've seen him manipulate multiple. When they were in the York New City arc and the Phantom Troop was going through the city, killing all the mob bosses, kind of like grunt men. Was he only manipulating one person at a time? I feel like he was manipulating multiple people. I honestly can't remember. Um, Either way, but like that. Say Shaunok he doesn't have the time to like inject himself and go like miniature Super Saiyan. And with Illumi, when you get past his needles, what is he? With Illumi, I go, again, he's a rare case where he's kind of like a master level assassin. I'm sure he's got speed, silent footsteps, ways to read people, attack, get the jump, sneak up. But again, like if Hisoka and Illumi were to go against each other, or Illumi and anybody else, when you get past the manipulation part, I guess what is it that he has to offer? Same with Hisoka. We've never seen Hisoka like shook. Like, oh my gosh, like I could lose here. Even when he was fighting, what was the guy's name in Heaven's Arena? I don't even know. When he like really lost an arm and was being pushed and it looked like he might lose, we never got inner dialogue of Hisoka in a moment where he was like, wow, this is bad. I could lose this right here. We saw him fluster. We didn't even see him fluster there. It looked like there was no way he was going to get out of what he got out of, and he is where he is now. But yeah, just again, just more things. And I'm gonna bring this up when I have my final episode discussion. Um, two of the reasons that I know that I've seen a lot of people praise Hunter x Hunter for as the best. They say it's one of, if not the best ever story in all of anime. And they say the power system. A lot of people they'll go to their grave saying the power system is the best in any anime with Hunter x Hunter. And the reason I counter that, the more I've been kind of thinking about it over the past couple of days, knowing that I'm coming to an end here, the reason I counter it being the best, it could be the best on paper, but I feel like we see so little of it on display, it's hard to rank it as like that's the best power system when you don't really get to see a lot of the power system on display. You're just kind of told, and when you see it, you rarely get to see it. So it's hard for me to say it has the best power system. Maybe it has the best power system in a way that like everything it does makes sense. So does that by default make it the best power system? I don't know. It's hard to say something is the best um, when you don't get to see it or see many applications of it. That's just my 2 cents on that. So we had that, and then I'm gonna have to fade this back out so we don't get copyright striked if I press play again. So we saw that, and then I thought there were lollipops for a minute. The way Illumi licks it right here at 14:57. Why does he lick it? I don't know the purpose of him licking that. If I stick them in someone and give orders, they'll work hard for me until the death. Um, it looks like there might not be a limit to how many people he can control at a time. And as far as giving orders, does he like say what he wants to do? Like, these are the orders I want these people to follow. Then with that thought, he puts the nen into the needles, and that's the command. I would guess maybe. Or maybe that's a condition he has where he has to lick it, and then I don't know how the command goes from him to the people with the needles, like just through the aura. Is it something he needs to tell them, make eye contact with? Though they usually die from working too hard. Okay, and that's kind of all we wanted to leave that off at. So, unfortunately, Goto died. I felt like he was one of the better characters I enjoyed, even from way back when they were coming to break Killua up out of there. Seeing him with those coins was always so dope. Where he carries all those coins and how, without them weighing him down or making noise and jingling around, I don't know. It was cool to see. I would have liked to see, again, like with him, when the coins didn't do what they needed to do, I would have liked to seen, what does he have to offer? And you figure like with the butler and the way they're kind of like talked about these like you guys said, they just survived that car crash, doing all these wild things in the training and everything that they've had, but then flip it to like the fight with Hisoka. And again, Hisoka is very powerful, but I would like to think someone like Goto would be able to know that like the coins can't be the only thing that might be coming at you. And did he not think for a second to like maybe deflect and protect everything else? It's just a lot. And again, with Hunter x Hunter fights, you don't really get like in-depth fights, and like, so you don't know what a person might or might have done. The fights usually end, within the same time that they start. But it was a solid episode. We've got this anti-Hunter group. I don't know what all these people in this silhouette was, and I need to go back and read that one more time. We seek to reform the highly versatile team to which the former chairman belonged. So the chairman was part of this team before he became chairman, and is this silhouette in the middle, is that him? But who are all these other people? Like this guy over here with the sword, this really skinny female, this like Hisoka look-alike on the left over here. And all these other like this like Mega Man Wario character over here. The Ginyu Force dude. I don't know why show us all that, all those silhouettes. are we gonna get to see that? Those are just more characters we'd have to be introduced to and like get names. And with the Zodiac group we also got introduced to, it just seems like a lot to pack in the next 6 episodes. But we'll see how they wrap. I feel like we're getting a lot of new like story and development and characters when we're like this close to the finish line. So I'm hoping like it all gets condensed and stuffed in and wrapped up accordingly. But we'll go ahead and leave that there. Appreciate you guys watching. Patreon, tomorrow we will have Full Metal episode 5 and 6 this week. Everybody else, Hunter x Hunter 143 will be up on Wednesday. 144 will be up on Friday. I think Code Geass is on episode 22 and 23. And then over the weekend we'll have My Hero, and we'll keep it going from there. So help us reach 6,000 subs. And if you're also interested in supporting us on Patreon, the link for that is in the description as well for the early episodes. And I'm thinking the Vinland Saga we're going to start on Patreon as well, because the requests have just been wild. I've never gotten requests for an anime like this before. So I feel like I'm just going to have to start watching it. I think they said it's only 24 episodes, so that's not too bad. I'm only going to do like once a week, maybe once every Sunday. We'll upload it on Patreon, and when we get like 5, 6, 7 episodes ahead, I'll, trickle it out on YouTube and go from that. But yeah, Patreon link in the description if you're interested. Subscribe if you haven't already. Help us get to 6,000 subs. And yeah, enjoy your week. Like, share, favorite, subscribe, and as always,